I am Jumander,
And I'm Andachu.
and this is more Strider 2014, played for you live.
It's not played live. You're not live playing this.
I am. Don't ruin the illusion.
I think they know better.
Social decay begins. False disobedience.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that statement.
Observe your name.
So the charge shot in this, I was trying to say it before, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as it was when it was introduced in, say, Mega Man. Oh, and these checkpoints refill all your health, and our save spots. And this music is the Egypt train theme from the NES Strider.
Which we're about to get if I remember correctly.
Trains, yes. So we can't go through those grates yet. And the chart, like I was saying, the charge shot is not nearly as bad, because in a lot of series, when you introduce the charge shot, what you do basically is make it so that regular enemies have to take more than one hit. Which, to be fair, yes, that is the case in this game too. But in this game, since it's melee, and you're using something that is so rapid fire that you just spam it anyway, it's really not that bad. The other problem I have with it usually is that you have to hold it down all the time, but you really don't. And this is sort of an optional little shortcut where you can open the gates from outside with the charge shot because of its extended reach. And you can tell this is sort of optional because this is the first encounter with missile enemies, which can knock you on your ass really easily. About collectibles, I don't know what to do about them, since there's, concept art, there's different costumes, there's...
I believe my take on collectibles are, if they're only just for the sheer purpose of, here's some cool
100%.
concept. Yeah, if they're just for your
viewing pleasure.
Completionist fetish,
Yeah.
then they're not worth getting for purposes of me watching a video of it.
I guess. What about, energy tanks? Health tanks?
Do those off screen.
Alright.
Do you really want to watch fucking Slow Beef getting every missile tank expansion?
That was god-awful.
I rest my case.
So here's
a new boss that I like.
Yeah, it's very cool, and there are multiple versions of this boss that become regular enemies, and they're all different. They're all themed differently and have different attack patterns. But they're the same basic principle as the giant mecha gorilla thing. Alright, max out my combo meter and just wail on him, and that takes about half his health. You can stun them with the charge attack. And you can slide through most enemies, even bosses. Yeah, see, you can stun him and just wail on his head. I think that's supposed to be like the robot gorilla. So we finally get a new ability. Which, honestly, isn't that useful, but it is very cool looking.
Well, it's basically just to add dimensions.
Yeah. I don't know why this has to be a cutscene, though.
It's so that they can show you where you're supposed to go.
Yeah. Although...
And we're in the palace.
There's a lot of gold.
And we don't take it.
Yeah. You could retire right now.
We wouldn't have even finished this game.
So the shield enemies, you have to charge attack them.
Yeah, because you can't, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, your Cypher just bounces off of them, and you can't even slide through them. But, again, you'll probably have the attack button held down most of the time anyway, when you're not spamming at them. Now, one note about the music, it's by default set really low volume. And I'm not really sure why, since it's really good music. It just, I don't know, they had the sound effects turned way too high up. So I have adjusted it. I might need to adjust it more. I don't know what the deal with this is. Well, I mean, the statue is awesome, but I don't know why there was lightning platforms up there. So here we go, trains. And that's basically how they're preventing us from, like, getting outside of the bounds in this area. But if we climb up here...
I bet there's a stray bead.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna get new enemy intel. And I missed with that down attack.
An efficient citizen makes an efficient friend.
I don't know what any of this says. It's all actually in Russian, I think.
Well, I think it's not real Russian,
But there's a lot of graffiti. Like, well, and just a lot of writing. And I'm not really sure, like, if it was intentional.
I like this callback to the train.
Yeah, running along the train, even though it's not moving.
Although it does give me, like, a little too flashback of Shinobu.
Yeah. So yeah, even if you jump behind them, the shield guys still block you.
Which is very triggering, dude.
It's a little bit annoying. So here they are as a regular enemy, and they're not that bad. Usually when something becomes a regular enemy in this game, it doesn't really happen that often, but it at least has less max health. And honestly, it's pretty hard, even in easy mode, to max out your hit counter like that. In regular gameplay, like not in a boss fight, just because there's a lot of enemy shots. And you're not exactly, like, able to bullet dodge everything. But you are able to attack in 8 directions, at least. Alright, so here I'm showing off the map system a little bit. You can always see if there's a secret path. So, like, if I walk over here, I can go ahead and trigger the mechanism.
And this is an okay sort of puzzle.
Yeah, it's like a platforming thing. No, you're right. I will be trying to get some of the upgrades on screen, like if they're not out of the way. But like, the collectibles, I guess, are sort of
no one wants to
dull
see you
to
getting.
watch.
See, you know, if it's
Stray
like
beads, yes, I know.
if
No-
it's something cool, like if it requires you to do something neat and cool,
yeah,
then fine. But
that was just sort of an extra.
yes, and we are having an editorial meeting during
this shit.
because
But yeah, this sort of teaches you the basics of the climbing mechanics if you didn't know them already. Which was in the arcade game, and they toned it down. Well, obviously in the NES game it was completely different. But they toned it down in Strider 2 also. You could only wall climb, I believe. You couldn't climb on ceilings. Which was weird to me, because at least the one thing that the arcade game had going for it was that you could sort of clamber around on everything. I don't know why I'm in this.
were you thinking there was an upgrade?
The map looks weird here, so I thought there might be something, but there isn't. If you get hit by a train, you just sort of vaporize and reappear. See, there's more, like, passers-by in the background. And that's sort of weird for a game where everything is, like, every enemy's like a robot that just sort of splits in half and explodes. To just have, like, dudes waiting for the train and not flinch when they see you.
Well, I mean, if you live in Kazakh City, you're probably used to this sort of.
I guess. Yeah. So yeah, there's the Grandmaster. And if you slide over here, another energy tank. So yeah, like that one's not out of the way. Once we get some upgrades, there'll be a chance to like go back and explore around, and maybe I'll just like snap edit to those. I don't know. It's really not that interesting to watch the backtracking. This is cool though. You can just skip this whole section with the charge shot, which is using the charge shot well.
I think I did that on accident when I
Yeah.
played through this.
So there's a whole energy system in this game that we don't get yet. There's a lot of upgrades that takes a long time for you to even start using. Like, you have kunai on your back, but you can't use them yet. Which threw me for a loop when I first played through it. There's a puzzle that requires kunai.
And you're like, I've got kunai.
Yeah, well, you can see him on his back. Like, he's got them in a scabbard, but... Oh, and this is a nice little arena fight with these two guys. But they're separated by the train. And I'm trying to build up a combo meter again, because I want to show that off as much as I can. But the biggest problem with it is that if you play too conservatively, it just runs out.
What is it with you and combo meters?
I think it's a very good mechanic to try and play through a section flawlessly in order to get something tangible. I know, it's hard for you to understand trying to play something well.
I will have my revenge upon you.
So this enemy, Pee-Poo, is...
I do not think that is how her name is pronounced.
Okay, well, just give me this. She's not that hard. She is very annoying because she can put up a shield. I don't care that she can counterattack. I don't even care that she can do a bullet shot.
I wish that she could dark step.
Oh, that'll come later. But this is one of those bosses that, in the Genesis, she does exist in the Genesis. Also, the most annoying thing about this fight is the little lightning platforms that they extend, because you'll cling onto the wall and jump into them. And here I'm gonna finish her with the down attack.
And you get my favorite power-up in this game.
Yeah. So, the options that you got from the stupid flying drones in the arcade game are now usable with your energy meter. And they're also used to fast travel.
Anytime I want.
Yeah. And it honestly looks really good.
Yeah, I just really like that.
Yeah.
It's super stylish.
So yeah, the legend tells you what every symbol means from the get-go. So you know what things you can and can't enter. For example, this one. Can't go in there yet. Next time I'll actually show off option C. Next time. If there is a next time.